I served as President Biden's chief of U.S. Border Patrol until I retired in August 2021. Border security is simply knowing and controlling who and what is entering our homeland. Immigration and customs laws are completely irrelevant if you cannot control the initial entry. The terrorist attacks on 9/11 also had a profound impact on my understanding of border security. Prior to 9/11, terrorism was not part of the Border Patrol's discussions, but this changed as our nation realized that foreign terrorists had exploited vulnerabilities in our border security. Congress responded quickly by creating the Department of Homeland Security, and I responded by accepting an opportunity to build the Office of Anti-Terrorism within Customs and Border Protection. I quickly found myself immersed in classified intelligence briefings and interagency planning to mitigate terrorist threats. The terrorists that perpetrated 9/11 entered through our ports of entry, and as such, our priority was improving the ports of entry. But we knew that as we mitigated those vulnerabilities, terrorists would predictably shift to entering in between the ports of entry. We also had reason to believe that the terrorist organizations would increasingly seek operatives that were unknown to U.S. intelligence, so we could not rely solely on records checks. We would need skilled interviewers. The Border Patrol strategy evolved with an increased focus on situational awareness through intelligence and physical surveillance. However, deterring illegal immigration through a certainty of arrest and application of consequences remained a fundamental pillar. When I was selected as chief, the capabilities of the Border Patrol to detect and interdict illegal entries was better than ever, and it was rapidly improving. Fewer illegal entries combined with the construction of the new border wall system made every agent more effective. This equated to additional time that agents were spending on interviews to identify somebody positively, as well as their intent, and to glean intelligence on criminal networks that was used to improve investigations and operations. In contrast, I also experienced the reversal of border security and immigration policy that was initiated by the Biden administration. From day one, political leadership ignored career professionals and increasingly made policy decisions that resulted in thousands of aliens being released into the United States. As predicted, the volume of illegal immigration rapidly increased. It overwhelmed Border Patrol and effectively transferred control of the United States border with Mexico to the drug cartels. I watched border security gains that had been made over 3 decades vanish and the safety of border communities spiral backwards. Policymakers must understand this is not simply an immigration issue. This is a national security threat. Cartels use illegal aliens to overwhelm law enforcement, create controllable gaps in border security that then they exploit to bring in anything they want. To think that well-resourced terrorist networks and hostile nations are not exploiting the same vulnerability is naive. Prioritizing immigration processing over enforcement also means that the agents are spread so thin when they are deployed that even when they detect an illegal entry, they are not always able to interdict it. These events are reported by the Border Patrol as known gotaways, but it's also important to know that this does not encompass the total gotaways. The hundreds of miles of border that are left unpatrolled on a daily or weekly basis now, and that lack persistent surveillance, we have no idea what has crossed through those areas. In my professional assessment, the U.S. Border Patrol has lost our ability to know who and what is entering our homeland. And please remember, the border is simply a transit location, it is not a destination. These people and these things are going to every city, town, and state across this nation.